Okay, now this problem is related to Hofmann bromide rearrangement. To answer this question, you have to remember the mechanism for Hofmann bromide rearrangement. So let me first make a summary for Hofmann bromide reaction. So did you remember what happens in Hofmann rearrangement? So you have a RCONH2, and if you treat this compound with NaOH Br2, you will get RCONH2. So RNH2, CO is gone. So finally we'll get RNH2. So this is the final product, RNH2. So CO is gone, CO group is gone. You see, CO group is gone. Now this means, let me revise mechanism for this reaction. If you have some idea, in the first step OH minus takes a H plus. So you have in amide, I am just going in a short, I will not explain in detail. OH minus will take one proton, this goes here. I will have RCO NH, and you will have 6, so minus charge here. Now this will further react with bromine. I am not going in detail. So this react with bromine, and it forms, so this goes here, this goes here, so it forms RCO NH Br, if you remember. Now in the next step, what happens? Did you have any idea? Now this hydrogen becomes even more acidic. So in the next step, OH minus takes hydrogen. So this OH minus is basically taking this hydrogen, this going here, and the same time this alkyl group migrates here, same time this Br goes. So this all happens in the one step. This, and one more thing, when this migrates, configuration of R remain retained. So retention of configuration. So this happen with retention. So you will have CO double bond. Here you have a double bond, because you see this lone pair basically will, you have two lone pair here. So this double bond will not come as a lone pair, this will come as a bond. So this bond I can break something like this if you have any confusion. So you will have Rn, and R will come here. So this will, you will get RnCO. Are you getting or not? So you will have final product Rn double bond CO. This is called isocyanate. Isocyanate. And now in the next step, what happens? This RnCO gets hydrolyzed, RnCO. So let me write N double bond CO. In the next few steps, OH minus attacks here, and this opens up, return back, this goes here. So I am not going in detail. So, and finally this gives you loss of CO3 2 minus, or you can even lose CO2, and this gives RNH2. So I am leaving this part. I have up to this point of time I have explained. So I will get a isocyanate, and this in the next case I am saying only thing, this OH minus will attack here, this will open up, return back, nitrogen will have hydrogen, and finally a CO2 will be lost. That I am not explaining. Now let us come to the question. What this question? This question is something about Curtius rearrangement. So this is similar to Hofmann rearrangement. So mechanism is given. So let me write CrCl, and if I treat with NaN3 sodium azide, this gives you RCO N3, and N3, if I write the resonating structure of N3, it will look something like this. So you will have a positive charge, here you will have a negative charge. Now this molecule have a resonating structure something like this, RCO minus double bond. So this minus goes here, this goes up, so I will have a double bond here, N, and then I will have a triple bond here. So there is a plus charge, lone pair, no formal charge. Are you able to see or not? Oh my god, you are not able to see. So now you are able to see. So you see, you can write a resonating structure of this molecule something like this. What I have done, this lone pair goes here, this lone pair goes here. So I will do something of this kind of resonating structure. Now what happens in the next step, this lone pair comes here, and this alkyl group goes here, and this goes here. So you will have alkyl isocyanate again, C double bond O, C double bond N, and then you have R. So you are getting basically R N double bond CO, alkyl isocyanate. So you again getting isocyanate, and if you further treat with the isocyanate with OH minus in the presence of H2O, you will get RNH2. So you see, these two rearrangements are very similar. In Hofmann rearrangement also, you are getting isocyanate as an intermediate. So this is an intermediate. And in this reaction, so this is a intermediate in Curtius rearrangement. In Hofmann rearrangement, you are also getting RNCO as an intermediate. So this is an intermediate. So you are getting intermediate alkyl isocyanate in both cases. You are getting Curtius rearrangement as well as in Hofmann rearrangement also getting this as a intermediate. Now come to the question. So these things are given. Now question, the first part says the Curtius rearrangement accomplishes the same synthetic goal as the Hofmann bromide rearrangement. So you see, both have the same idea. You have to have RNH2 group, that is the, and mechanism is also very similar. An acid chloride react with azide. So you see, in Curtius rearrangement, an acid chloride react with azide to give an acyl azide. So this is the acyl azide, RCOCl, and you remove this one and RNH3. So this is a acyl azide. You can call this as a acyl azide. So this is nothing but acyl azide. You get a acyl azide which undergo Curtius rearrangement when heated. So you require heating. In this case, if acyl azide is heated, you get finally RNH2. So now question says, question part A, the Curtius rearrangement takes place through a much shorter mechanism. You see, in this case mechanism is very shorter. You have only one step mechanism. This N3 attacks, this goes up, then returns, and then you have isocyanate. But if you see Hofmann bromide rearrangement, up to RNCO, how many steps you have? Up to RNCO, you first remove one hydrogen here. So this is a step. Attack to the bromine, you get RNH, then again attack the, then again you pulled one hydrogen, then loss of bromine, and then, so you see 3 steps you are getting. So this is the first step you see. If you see, this is the first step, this is the second step, and this is the third step. In 3 steps you are getting. Now here you have only one step. So your maximum you can say 2 steps. So in this case, the mechanism, the path is very short. So this is given. So let me see here. So what says, so in this case it says path is very shorter. Now which step of Hofmann rearrangement is resembles to the Curtius rearrangement? So what is the thing that is resembling? You see, in both cases you are getting R and CO as intermediate. So this is one resemblance. In both cases we are getting R and CO as intermediate. And after that the mechanism is same. Till before RNCO formation we have slight difference, but after that the mechanism is very similar for both cases. Either you have, so this is a hydrolysis of RNCO, in both cases you have. Now any other thing that is similar? You see, you have to look for similarity. So you see, in both cases, in this case nitrogen contains a good leaving group of bromine, so here you have, and in this case nitrogen contains a good leaving group, that is N2. So in both cases you have a good leaving group. So next similarity you have, in one case N2 is good leaving group, in another case basically Br minus is good leaving group. So this is in Hofmann rearrangement. Huffman, and this is in Curtius. In Curtius you have, now another similarity we have, in both cases alkyl migration. So phenyl migration, that is in this case phenyl, or you can say alkyl migration if you have alkyl group. So alkyl migration is also similar. In both cases you have alkyl migration. And another thing that is also similar, that is retention of configuration. In both mechanism there is a retention of configuration, for which the carbon that is migrating, so migrating carbon retains its configuration. So for this is true for migrating carbon. So migrating carbon basically retain its configuration. Are you getting or not? So these are the two similarities. Now part B says bromide serve as a good leaving group in Huffman rearrangement. What is the leaving group in Curtius rearrangement? So now we know the answer. In Curtius rearrangement, N2 is the good leaving group. Part C, so this is the good leaving group in Curtius rearrangement. So this is the question is asking, what is the leaving group in Curtius rearrangement? So N2 is the leaving group in Curtius rearrangement. Propose a mechanism for the following reaction. So now the third part is saying, you have R here, and then C, CH3 here, CH3, and then CO, and 3, and if you treat with H2O, you are getting R, C, CH3, CH3, and H2, and it is said propose the mechanism. So basically up to R and CO, so you see we have already proposed one part of the mechanism up to R and CO. If you see here, so let us write and then we will go. If you have written, then we will go next page. So you see for up to R and CO we have written the mechanism. So R, in this case this group becomes R, so this is my R, so this is my R dash you can say. So this is my R dash, so this becomes RNH2. Now up to this stage, up to formation of R and CO, we have written the mechanism. Now I have to only, so this becomes R dash and CO. So this part becomes R dash and double bond CO. Now next part I have to do only hydrolysis. So this is R dash, so this is my R dash, so this is R dash NH2 if I do hydrolysis. So what I will do is, if I treat with OH minus in basic medium, so this attacks here, this goes here, so I will have R dash N double bond CO minus OH, and I will have one resonating structure of this molecule is something like this, R dash N C double bond O OH. Now nitrogen will have a negative charge, so this minus will take H plus from here, so this H plus will basically go here, so I will have R dash N H CO O minus. Now I can basically force this one to make RNH2. So either I can protonate first, or simply if I force this one, so this electron pushes, this goes here, so I will have something like this, R dash N minus H plus CO2. In the next step, R and H, so this is minus, will take H plus from H2O, so this takes from H2, it will take H plus, so you will have R and H2. So mechanism is very simple. So you see you are taking, so you are losing one molecule of CO2, and then finally you are adding OH minus. So you see the mechanism you have for good Curtius rearrangement is similar to, very similar to Huffman bromide rearrangement. And similarity is, we have already said, in one case Br is a leaving group, in other case N2 is a leaving group. We have also said both cases retention of configuration. In one case alkyl migration also happen in both cases, we have also said. Now alkyl isocyanate, hydrolysis of alkyl after the formation of alkyl isocyanate, this molecule RnCO, after the formation of RnCO, that is alkyl isocyanate, mechanism is same. One thing before that there are some difference. In one case, in Huffman bromide, this reaction is guided by acidity of hydrogen, but here this is completely guided by a leaving group of nitrogen, because a good leaving group. So this we have said something about Curtius rearrangement. This is similar to now. This problem is generally asked in JEE about Hofmann bromide rearrangement reaction. This is very important. So you have to remember the mechanism of this reaction very clearly. We'll discuss the next reaction.